Congratulations. You are the youngest person we have ever hired. With your academic success and extracurricular achievements, we have no doubt you will be a perfect fit for the team. Please find enclosed your official welcome packet and employment contract. We eagerly await you starting next week. Welcome aboard. The letter was printed on thick ivory stock, the government organization's logo stamped at the top in bright green. To Osiah Maximilian, it had been all he had worked for during the previous decade. He read the letter over twice, savoring each word as it validated every late-night study session and over-caffeinated internship he'd endured in college. He folded the letter with reverence and placed it back into its envelope, careful not to crease the paper. It was impossible not to smile. As far as government jobs went, the Covert Intelligence Squad, or CIS for short, was the most highly desired place to work. Although hours were typically long, its high pay, excellent benefits, and prestige attracted tens of thousands of resumes for every open position. Osiah arrived early Monday morning, eager to figure out exactly what the mysterious organization did. Despite being hired, the nature of the work was so confidential that he knew nothing about it. Thankfully, it seemed that something on his resume had sparked their interest, and he couldn't wait to figure out what it was. At exactly 9 a.m., he walked into the building, an enormous windowless structure towering above him. He was greeted by a blast of processed air. The lobby was intimidatingly pristine, perfectly white walls stretched up high, and a darker-colored reception desk seemed to float in a sea of white, tiled flooring. There was no line, just Osiah and the sound of his footsteps as he walked up to the receptionist. "Welcome," said the receptionist, glancing at a computer screen. "Osiah Maximilian. Report directly to room 15C-18. He handed him a glossy map of the building. It was sprawling, filled with color-coded sections and numbered rooms that snaked through hallways in a dizzying pattern. He had circled room 15C-18. From what he could tell on the map, it corresponded to room 18 in hallway C on the 15th floor. A young woman in a bizarre suit was waiting outside the room and greeted him. "Hi, Osiah. Nice to meet you, and congratulations on your first day. My name is Claire. Don't feel too intimidated. You should feel welcome here. I'll go over a few things with you. First, see this lockbox here? While you are working, all of your personal items must be locked up. No phones, books, magazines, games, etc. are allowed inside of your office." The woman opened the door to his new office and ushered Osiah in. Despite the room being devoid of most color, it looked comfortable enough. An inviting sofa lined one wall. The opposite side of the room appeared to contain a buffet, overflowing with delicious-looking food. In the center of the rather large room was a simple square white table. A large red button sat exactly at the center of the table. A plastic chair faced the door. "Go ahead and sit down here. Your job today is very simple. Wait for the red button to light up and then press it." "Okay, but what does pressing the red button do?" asked Osiah. "I'm not allowed to discuss that with you now. Perhaps in the future. Just sit down and relax, and every time the button lights up, press it." "Well, okay, I can do that." "Great. Just make sure you press it within 2 seconds of it lighting up. It is critical for the button to be pressed quickly." "All right, I'll try to pay attention to it." "Try? I should hope so. Anyway, work begins at 9 o'clock every day and ends at 5 o'clock if everything goes as planned. You will be paid every day when you clock out, via direct deposit into your bank. Great. Thanks for the information. What about the couch and the food? Am I allowed to sit on the couch and eat the food? Absolutely. We want you to feel comfortable in your office. As long as you don't move any of the furniture, you can do as you please. Just don't forget about pressing the button. You'll have a 30-minute lunch break beginning at noon each day. Since you won't have your phone, there is a clock above the door. Thanks. Anything else I should know? Can I come find you if I have any more questions? I'm rather busy today. Just pay attention to the button and everything will be fine. And please remember that everything we do here is confidential. You must not tell anybody the nature of your work. I'll see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. You can ask any additional questions then. Claire walked out of the room, leaving Osiah alone. The door clicked shut, and he was enveloped in silence. He sat at the table, eyes fixed on the button. Was that all he was supposed to do? He asked himself. Then it happened. The button turned on, a bright shade of red. He pressed it instantly, which caused the light to immediately turn off. Osiah exhaled, not realizing he'd been holding his breath. The button remained dark for a long time. He wandered to the buffet, grabbed a few snacks, and returned to the table. Just as he sat down, it lit up again. He pressed it quickly, grateful he had made it back to the table in time. For the next hour, the button turned on repeatedly, in quick succession. He pressed it each time as fast as he could, and each time it immediately dimmed. It was strangely satisfying. At precisely noon, he took his lunch break. The button remained dark for exactly 30 minutes. He was more tired than he thought he would have been. He grabbed a bunch of food from the buffet and ate it while resting on the couch. It was the most comfortable couch he had ever sat on. So much better than the hard plastic chair at the table. He moved back to the table at 12:30, when the button immediately started to light up again. It wasn't long until he became tired. Pressing the button was such a monotonous task, but it required a lot of attention. He eventually slumped forward on the table, keeping his hand next to the button. Despite how bright the light was when it turned on, he could not see it through his eyelids. Attempting to rest his eyes for a bit would have been a bad idea. To not risk dozing off, he forced himself to sit straight. The light kept turning on at seemingly random times, and he managed to keep pace with it throughout the afternoon. At exactly 5 o'clock, a mechanical voice from a hidden speaker filled the room. Your shift is over. Your average time today was 0.85 seconds. Please exit the room, collect your personal belongings, and enjoy your time off. Osiah followed the instructions. He noticed that a bunch of other people were leaving their offices at the same time. Like him, they grabbed their belongings from the lockbox and walked towards the elevators. Nobody said a word. Most people were at least 10 years older than himself, and he felt intimidated as he made for the exit. When he got home, he felt exhausted. His phone rang. A friend from college. Hey, Osiah, congrats on the job. How was the first day? I'm thrilled for you, although I admit a bit envious too. It was my dream job too. Thanks, Dan. It was fine. A bit different than I expected, but hopefully I'll get used to it. That's great. How different? I can't really talk about it. Everything is confidential. Wow. They sure are serious about secrecy. I'm sure you are working on some crazy project. I won't ask too many questions, but we have to celebrate at some point. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, for sure. You too. Osiah collapsed onto his bed and opened his online banking app. A deposit from CIS was made at exactly 5 p.m. when his shift had ended. It was a bit more than he expected, and his excitement returned when he extrapolated his pay to the entire month. Maybe the first day had only been a test, and he would be assigned to an interesting project soon. But the next day came, and Claire explained that he would be doing the exact same thing again. The second day was more exhausting than the first. The button lit up relentlessly, and his arm began to ache from pressing it so often. At noon, he took his break on the couch and nearly fell asleep. He trudged through the afternoon, beginning to hate the red button. Towards the end of his shift, his attention lapsed for just a moment, and he failed to press the button within the allotted 2 seconds. The mechanical voice spoke up immediately. Task failed. Mandatory overtime required. Expected additional time required to remedy situation. 1 hour and 45 minutes. What? Osiah muttered in desperation. Another hour and 45 minutes simply because he missed a single press of the button? Upset, he paid extra attention to the button, making sure he pressed it as quickly as possible. Time seemed to slow to a crawl. When the clock finally read 6:45 and the mechanical voice told him he could leave, he lay down on the couch for 5 minutes before dragging himself home. His payment for the day was sent to his account at exactly 6:45, but a full 25% of the amount was immediately deducted. The memo simply said, "Penalty for low productivity." He couldn't believe it. He had worked an extra hour and 45 minutes and earned only 3/4 what he had the prior day. The following day, he had plenty of questions for Claire. "Sorry about yesterday," Osiah said. "I'm not sure how I missed the button, but a 25% pay deduction?" "Yes, that is standard. We really need you to press the button in a timely manner." "What happens if I miss it again? Do I just keep working overtime forever?" "No, of course not. Nobody is allowed to work past 9 o'clock. If you miss it 2 times or more, however, your pay will be deducted by 50%. This is just standard policy. And if at any time we detect you not working as efficiently as possible, you won't get any pay for that day." "That's ridiculous, though," responded Osiah. "It's been standard policy for the last 20 years. Best of luck today." The day seemed to drag on forever, even though he never missed pressing the button and was able to leave at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, all of Osiah's family and friends kept congratulating him on landing the job at CIS. He kept his spirits high, and he could already feel his reputation amongst family and friends increasing. "One day I hope to grow up and work for CIS too," the daughter of one of his friends announced. "It's a lot of hard work to get accepted, and the workdays are exhausting," he replied. Inside, he wished he could scream. Tell her to do anything else with her life. Tell everyone how awful the job was. In fact, Osiah was determined to quit that week. He would stay through the end of the day Friday, just in case the whole thing was an elaborate hazing ritual. Perhaps the second week was when he would start doing the interesting work. The work everyone had hoped to be doing at CIS. Friday came and nothing seemed different, except that before his lunch break, the button had not turned on a single time. The couch seemed to beckon him to rest, but there was no way he would be able to jump up and press the button in time, if it did light up. The food seemed to mock him as well. The only feasible time to eat and relax each day was during his lunch break. The rest of the time he sat on that horrible plastic chair and stared at the button and the clock. How long could a person do this before going insane? He began questioning whether pressing the button served any real purpose, or even more troubling, what if pressing the button was causing harm? Perhaps his entire role was to alleviate someone else's guilt for inflicting punishment. Mine set that he would quit his job. When his lunch break came, he ate quickly and searched for Claire. He found her in an office on the 20th floor. He interrupted what she was doing and expressed his concerns. "Don't let your imagination run so wild, Osiah. No, nothing like that is happening here. Pushing the button doesn't do anything at all. It just keeps you busy." "Just keeping me busy? But I want to do something productive," exclaimed Osiah. "Productive work is a privilege, not a right. With your education, I'm sure you understand the importance of managing employee expectations." "Yes, but—" "Then you should realize how valuable it is just to be part of this organization. Not many people get the chance to work at CIS. Don't your friends and family respect you a lot more now that you work here?" "Yes, they do." "Then what's the problem? Everyone is striving to earn respect from their career choice. You have that. If I were you, I would just settle into your role and try to enjoy the rest of your life when you are not here." "But I can't do that," responded Osiah. "This job is driving me crazy. I was even thinking about quitting." "Quitting? You can't do that," she responded. "Why not? Surely I can quit whenever I want." "I mean, yes, you can quit. But we have put your name on the blacklist. You won't ever be hired by anyone else." "What?" "There is something you have to understand. Your degrees you earned at school, while impressive, are oversaturated. Instead of letting people languish in unemployment, we randomly select people for work like this. In fact, millions of people around the country go to work every day and do the exact same thing you are doing here. As technology advances, the proportion of people who become button pressers will surge. It's estimated that within this decade, half of the population will be pressing buttons for a living." Osiah looked shocked. "It will take a while for people to accept this new reality, but they eventually will. You don't have to like your job, Osiah. You just have to have one. It's never good for people to have too much free time on their hands." "But there are so many other things I could be doing instead of pressing that button. I actually had nightmares about it last night." "Perhaps, but this seemed to be the best option. We voted for this. Work is good. Having a good work ethic is good. Having a schedule is good. Being respected in your community is good. You have all of those things. This is the optimal path for humanity going forward. In time, you will understand as well. Trust me." Resigned, Osiah made his way back to his office. He was late. He had already missed pressing the button 7 times, and the cold voice from the speaker scolded him. Great. He would be at the office until 9 on a Friday, working for half pay. At least his friends were excited for him when he finally met up with them at 9:30. Working until 9 o'clock must be some important work you do at CIS. I'm glad there are people like you living your dream and keeping society from falling apart. Much better than my pointless job. Here, I got this round. Cheers, and congratulations again, Osiah." Osiah drank it fast and put in an order for another round. "Thanks," he exclaimed. "It really is the dream."